So I'm going through major transitions in my life.
Welcome to planet Earth.
Right. Yes. And
welcome to expansion.
Right. And I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
And of course, I have been shifting directions through the process. Contrast is providing me with
clarity.
A great deal of it.
Yeah.
So
clarity is just such a big nugget, such a big bonus.
My job now that I'm not working a job is to be happy.
Yeah.
And to
follow the impulse.
Right.
From there.
So I'm living in a strange world that not a lot of people are living in.
Oh, it's not a strange world. It's the world you came to live in.
Right.
The strangers are outside of that world, justifying their existence.
Surrounded by them, right? So,
but they don't come up close to you unless you get a bead on them and activate them in you, or push against them, get in competition with them. Oh, I found the brave new way, and you are all behind.
The challenge that I find myself facing is being happy when circumstances certainly don't dictate a great deal of...
That's the thing, we know. Because most people are having a knee-jerk, conditional response to life. So if they see something that makes them feel good, they do. If they see something that makes them feel bad, they do. But they don't seem to have any control. But if you can get out ahead of it just a little bit by acknowledging that you get to create your own reality and that your thoughts accomplish things and that you have guidance within you so that you can guide your thoughts more and more, and you care more about getting into the receiving mode and thinking those thoughts than being in this receiving mode and thinking those thoughts. You've heard enough just today to make everything different from here on out.
I just don't want to be afraid anymore, because I know once I will lose the fear, then it will all come.
But you see, we like it when you feel fear, because it's your indicator that your thought is all screwed up. When you feel fear, just stop and say to yourself, I seem to be having a disagreement with my inner being. My inner being is looking at this exact thing that I'm looking at, but my inner being has a different opinion about it than I do. And as you reach this moment, and when it comes up again, and when it comes up again, for what that must mean, so that you begin leaning more in the direction of the satisfying thought about it that your inner being is thinking, rather than the dissatisfying thought that you're thinking, it'll take that edge off and the momentum will start leaning more in your favor. Do you get that?
I do. And so...
What are you fearful of? Do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
What is
failure and not being able to stay in my house.
But let's talk about it from your first response. Isn't this interesting? You'll like this. Esther's grandson wanted to know what irony is, and this is that. So listen to the way this unfolds. So I feel fear that I will fail. And the reason that I feel this fear is because I'm focused upon failure and my inner being isn't. So the reason that I'm feeling fear about failure is because I'm focused in opposition with what my inner being knows about this. So I've made something up that isn't real. I'm focused upon it, and therefore I've disconnected myself from my inner being. And in that disconnection, I feel fear because I've disconnected from the energy that creates worlds. Your guidance system is working. You're not failing when you're disconnected. You're just disadvantaged. And if you keep it up, you will fail. The fear itself is such a helpful thing because it's saying to you, as long as you're thinking these thoughts, you're pinching yourself off from the resources that will help you succeed. Don't you love knowing that? What do you have fear of? Doing this thing I'm doing? Well, stop it. Okay.
Right. Recognizing that we all are in the place in our lives. We've all been complicit in the places that we are in our life. I mean, that...
Yeah. It's easy to have knee-jerk responses, but do you believe that you are the one exception in all the universe and that you don't have an inner being?
No.
And do you think your inner being is aware of you?
Yes.
And can you feel that your inner being is with you in this moment and every other? And can you feel that your inner being is looking forward to this progress that is happening with you, just loving the desire that you hold and enjoying watching the unfolding of it? And can you feel that fear happens in you when you get crossways of how your inner being feels about that? So when you feel fear, let it comfort you. Because it means my inner being's got me, and I'm not letting myself be got. My inner being has a bead on me and all that I want, and somehow I've lost the focus, but my inner being hasn't, and therefore I feel this. One day Esther said to us, she was feeling real bad, and she said, Abraham, I think you should come here with me and think about this like I am so that I don't feel so bad. Because she knew the reason she felt bad is because she was out on the raw and ragged edge and not letting us in. So she tried to talk us into coming out on the raw and ragged edge with her. And we said, come to us, because we're not coming there. Come to us. It was a sort of funny moment when she realized that what she was asking us to do. Abraham, give up all that you've come to know. Forget everything that you are. Never mind everything that I am that's in my vortex, and just come here and feel bad with me. And then I won't feel bad if you'll come over here with me. You're getting the picture of this, aren't you? Your inner being just is not ever going to budge from the evolution that you've accomplished together. And when we say you can't get it wrong, that means you cannot fail. And when we say you'll never stop expanding, there's no end to what you are.
So is it correct that the timing for a manifestation is directly correlated to how aligned you are?
Absolutely, and that was a beautiful way of saying that. What you're ready to receive, what you're ready to translate, what you're ready to receive. Translate into a thought, translate into a movement, translate into an impulse, translate into words, translate into action. Perfect words. But you got to be ready to be ready. In other words, you can't just say, I'm not ready, what do? We say, take a nap and you'll wake up more ready. And then when you wake up, don't get less ready, get more ready. Just keep leaning toward more satisfying thoughts, more soothing thoughts. Soothing is the name of the game.
I basically am trying to live my life in some form of denial of what the circumstances are.
Denying what?
Denying what you would call what was, what is. You know, trying to deny the circumstances.
Here's the thing. We don't want you to deny it. We just want you to stop making it such a bad thing. We're not asking you to not face reality. We're just asking you to not make it the dominant thing that you do. We're not asking you to be a crazy nutcase. We're just asking you to put your emphasis in a more productive place. We're asking you to stop beating up on yourself and be easier about it, and then be more expectant of things shifting for you and more aware of the things that are really good still anyway. You follow?
I do.
Enough?
Thank you.
Yeah. Very good.
I'm in a real good groove right now. I'm feeling good. Manifestations are good.
Want to call it a groove? It's a good name, good word. Or I got a really good vibration going on that I'm pretty good at maintaining. And everything that in my life is reflected by that pretty steady vibration that I've got going.
Exactly.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yes, it's very good. It kind of started several years ago.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the process. I mean, I've been to a few of these.
Doesn't matter. So here we are.
Yeah, what
Here we
matters.
are, and now
Yes.
what? Because if you look back even to the last whatever, you're diminishing the vibrational momentum that you've got going now. Why look back? Back is always weaker than now.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So now I can feel some amazing things bubbling to the surface. Obviously, I have this momentum going, and the desires that I've thrown into the vortex over the years, I know that they're coming to fruition because of the feeling, the manifestations, and so forth. This groove, this momentum, this vibration. So I want to be more specific about how this energy is now bubbling up.
Well, the reason that feels good, once you're certain, and you seem to be, that you are steadily in alignment, then what happens is thoughts continue to occur to you that you can bring to more specifics, and that is satisfying. But it's not something that you need to do. It's something that you're allowing to happen. So, do you meditate?
Yes. Not in the traditional sense. Sometimes I do, but...
Well, the reason we ask is because when you've really quieted your mind and thoughts begin to flow to you, you can feel the momentum in those thoughts, and often some really specific things will occur to you. Now, you don't have to be in the state of meditation. You could just be really, really happy and something occur to you. But when you get that feeling of really wanting to do something, make some motion toward it right then and there, even if it's only writing it down so that you remember the feeling and what it was about, because the specifics are occurring to you all the time. In the past, we have encouraged you to get in a good feeling place and to sit and to sort of script what you want, sort of like you're writing a screenplay. And that's a very productive way of allowing your juices to flow more specifically. This is what we want to define with you. All of you can hear this. Will be helpful to everyone. Logically, what seems more beneficial to you? More productive, more beneficial, and more good feeling? More alignment or less alignment?
More alignment.
So, within the alignment to source energy, or receiving mode of source, or the receiving mode of the spin-off of man's conscious thought, is still receiving in either case, yes? So there is this station I'm choosing, yes? And then there's attention to the thought, which increases momentum, yes? Sort of follow? I can be tuned in and get that momentum going, and I can be really worried about something and get that momentum going. Momentum will happen no matter what station that I'm receiving from. You follow me? So, which is better? Connected to source or otherwise?
Source.
And momentum in either case, yes? Which is better? Momentum with source or momentum otherwise?
Source.
Now here's the hard question. Which is better? Momentum with not source or no momentum?
No momentum.
You're very wise. So the reason that we're asking you like this is because a lot of people, they're so used to being human and action-oriented that they want to just get into it and start thinking about it. But if you're connected here rather than here, and you're writing about it, then you're adding momentum to your doubt and your worry and your fear. In other words, when you know what you don't want and you're trying to overcome it and you're offering effort about that, you're not improving your momentum here. You are locking in more in that lower momentum. Are you following? So what we're getting at, the only time that you want to strive for more specifics is when you know you're feeling good. So when you're feeling good, talk about it, dream about it, gather information about it, put things in your book of positive aspects about it. Get specific when you're feeling good. But when you're not feeling good, take a nap, go to the beach, do something to break the evil spell. So what are you asking?
I feel...
Because we can feel you trying too hard. And trying too hard is what people do when they're trying to overcome their own momentum that's going. So many people offer so much effort to compensate for what they're not doing with their energy.
Well, my main thing is lately I've achieved my groove, if you will, based on just generalities, keeping things very general.
Because it is easier to be tuned into who you are when you're speaking in general terms than when you're speaking in specific terms, isn't it? Because the specific things haven't come about yet. And so with that... Well, here's our question. Do you think that you have to do this when you get into your vehicle to drive somewhere? Do you have the urge to open the hood and get under there and work with the belts and the pistons and the engine and make the oil run?
Definitely not.
So you know that there's an engine that's doing its work, and what do? You just decide where you want to go.